Welcome everyone once again. Josh and Mosh in the pit. And I will bring in my number one. That's numero dos. Makes a lot of sense because that's how we roll. What's up, man?
Everybody, how's it going?
You're not the only one here, Paul. The first comment we get, I'm the only one here.
Paul, Paul said he wasn't going to show up, but I think Paul, we'll announce when the segments are, so just dip out when we talk WWE, and I'll tag you back in when we go to something else.
What up, Carlos? Yeah, we're streaming in 5 locations, guys. So yeah, we're all over the place.
We'll definitely let y'all know if we're going to talk spoilers. We'll definitely give you the advance notice. We know it's a new segment, but we're not out to ruin anybody's night. So we'll let you know what we're going to talk about. You could totally dip off and check back with us in about 5-10 minutes.
Absolutely. But yeah, with that said, I guess the segments we're gonna have tonight is start with our usual Women of the Week, the B Ninjas, female wrestler of the week, which is always awesome. We get to learn, and then we'll jump to GCW's show that they had this weekend that Brad is super stoked to talk about.
Can't wait.
He sent me so many fucking pictures. I was like, bro.
Y'all know me. Normally I'm boisterous and like confident. When Josh texted me, he's like, "Man, this is a lot of pictures." I was like, "Dog, how many should it be?"
Yeah, but it was awesome. And then we're gonna have our debuting AEW segment with Melina. We're talking about Melina. Melanie. Sorry, she's laughing at me. And Clarissa. Sorry, we can talk about that later. And then we'll brush on NXT. We have a expert for it, but we haven't quite made it yet. And then of course the big guest and who's jumping in the pit tonight, Moonshine Mantell. If you don't know who he is, you're gonna find out tonight. And if you do know, then you're pretty fucking stoked because I know I am because he's a badass. So let's get with it. I mean, unless you got something else to say, you ready to rock? Let's get the show on the road. And with that, we will welcome in Brandon B. Ninja.
What's good, y'all?
What's happening, man?
Nothing much. I just living my life like it's COVID, even though I don't have it.
Right.
But hey, just another week of wrestling, another week into the pit. What's good?
Oh yeah, man. Well, what's good, man? Let's get into your segment.
So yeah, so I went a little different for B Ninja's Woman of the Week this week because it's based off something that happened weeks ago that I definitely want to acknowledge. So sometimes my segments usually happen the week prior, or there's just some certain segments that probably happened weeks ago. But for this one, I definitely want to highlight them because I figured the Land of the Rising Sun needs a lot of credit. And one particular talent that needs to get her eyes on to the masses is B Ninja's Woman of the Week for July 30th. Wrong one.
You sent me pictures.
That was Deanna. That was last week, but this week is actually Saki Akai from the DDT promotion. No worries, you're good. Let's fix up that Windows Vista.
Well, fix up. You sending me pictures, that'd be great. Anyway.
Man. But anyway, yeah, Saki Akai, based out of Japan. She's actually a model who basically jumped into wrestling in 2001 and trained with the likes of Cherry, Miss Forever 18 herself, and became a main staple in the DDT promotion in Japan, facing the likes of Hikaru Shida, Makoto, Susaka Fujimoto, and she's been one of their main staples throughout the years. And the reason I'm highlighting her this week is basically the series that she had with her a plethora of opponents with the DDT promotion, with the likes of Texas' own Miranda Gordy herself, as well as the main event she had weeks ago with one of the goats of Japanese wrestling herself, and one of my personal favorites, Miss Mako Satomura herself. And the reason why it's buzzworthy is because that was DDT's first main event for the women by themselves. So yeah, the fact that Paul, shut the fuck up, first off, the fact that Mako has been a plethora of the women's division. Get rid of that shit before I get angry. So, but anyway, so yeah, bro. What up, bro? Rod, he's here. So
Rod's here. Rod's here. What's up, Rod?
So yeah, anyway, back to Mako. The fact that she's been a staple for over 2 decades, founded Sandai Girls, and basically just taking her plethora of sports all over the place. It's just breathtaking to see her elevate other up-and-coming talents, and Saki is indeed one of them, competing to the likes of DDT and basically having her series with the promotion and basically becoming one of a main staple in that promotion. Not to mention she's another model turned wrestler. Now I know that gets criticized a lot, but in Japan they take that shit seriously. If you remember Yuzu Akiaya or Yuzupon back when Stardom first formed, you want to talk about another Japanese pop idol that got into wrestling and basically just blew the storm up with her series back in the early Stardom days. Yeah, Japan definitely knows how to turn their pop idols and models and basically becomes one talk of the towns and the true sensations in professional wrestling. So with that, I gotta honor Saki Akai as Me Ninja's Woman of the Week.
Very cool, man. Educating us as always. I would bet that the majority of people viewing have learned now more about about her and how things roll over there and how things are different in Japan versus here. How things like that work there and don't work here, you know.
Especially with Japan now bringing wrestling back after the COVID hiatus. So basically, as you see right here, tune into this every Thursday. So yeah, you'll definitely get educated and learn more about what's out there in the world of wrestling. So
very cool.
Speaking of that, I appreciate you as always, man. And so things that have been going on in wrestling was the show that we had this weekend. So we'll jump to that next segment. Wait. And then you can cuss out Paul one more time for you because I know that helps. Booing you again.
I don't have the energy. I could just give him this right here. So anyway.
Paul Moody. Everyone's least favorite heel.
Yeah, and then
he's named after his last name is named after a racist city in Texas and a freaking segment from the Amanda Show back on Nick Nickelodeon. So
spell check and proofread his trash talk too, by the way. But,
exactly. Hashtag Mooney's point.
Dollar Tree trash talk out of here, Paul. Jesus Christ.
There you go, some love for you on your way
Furman
out.
was good. Yeah, Furman's an OG of mine. He knows me for the longest, so appreciate it. Anyway,
all right, brother.
So
appreciate you as always, man.
No props.
We learn more again.
Women of the Week. I love it.
Yeah, me too, man. When a Mojo Jojo going to be when is Mojo Jojo?
I don't. Y'all got
we got users wanting to fight.
I know, and it's so wild because I know y'all are talking trash, but I don't know who you are. So, naturally, just ignore the noise. Y'all got to get to StreamYard, click the link, log in, put your name in there, and then talk trash with us.
Yeah, that'd be a lot better.
And we used to kind of read y'all, but now that we're broadcasting in 5 different places, it can take me 3 or 4 minutes to find a comment.
Yep. So anyway,
moving right along. I'm so excited. Well, I was supposed to cover this with me, but some last minute things got in the way. So I want to talk GCW Homecoming. GCW Homecoming was a 2-night event that GCW put on. It was a show back in Atlantic City. It was a really big deal because up until this point, another deathmatch company has been running in that same region. It's ICW. They've been running No Holds Barred. And they've actually been running on Fight TV. So if you have IWTV. So if you have an IWTV subscription, you can watch it included in that. So GCW is trying to really bring back some fire and compete with that and not lose any steam. There was a big storyline coming up with Nick Gage losing the title to Ricky Shane Page back in February in an amazing death match, one of the best that I ever saw. And then COVID happened. So this pay-per-view was actually the get back into all that. First of all, it was set up in a great city. It was on the boardwalk of Atlantic City. Great scenic view, city skyline in the backgrounds, beach on the other side of it behind these folks. Everybody was properly social distanced, so I appreciated that. The big story for Homecoming, other than Nick Gage, was we had some basic matches, but ACH made his return to made his debut to GCW, but he's made his return to the Indies. He took on Trey Lamar in night one in a match that was a pretty good match. It was long, but it was a lot of ACH using his personality. A couple other matches. One I wanted to give a shout out to was Blake Christian versus Alex Zane. Those two have been tearing it up in GCW in general. They've really just been doing everything that they can. They're very high flyers. They're definitely chasing Will Ospreay's lead right now. So if you like Will Ospreay, if you like that type of wrestling, you would really enjoy Alex Zane and Blake Christian. The next matchup was a big one for the card. It was actually Alex Colon taking on AJ Gray. So this was actually one of two big things that we had in deathmatch wrestling. You don't get to see something new very often these days anymore. And with AJ Gray stepping into his first deathmatch ever against Alex Colon was a big deal. Basically what he's saying is he wants to give it a try against one of the greatest in the game. A lot of eyes were on this match, and it did not disappoint. AJ stood in there. There were some tough spots. It was tough this spot in particular was one for me. The gusset plate to the head, like AJ had done really good to hang in there, and you could tell that he knew he was in a death match. That moment was a little bit different for him, and it is for a lot of guys, and I think that you could see in his face. I didn't get a really good picture of it, but there was a split second where AJ Gray was like, okay, I don't want that to happen to me again. But he really stood in there. I mean, you could tell he worked it really well. It was a great match. I strongly recommend it. Real proud of the guy for stepping in against one of the greatest in the game. Then we led up to Nick Gage versus Schlack. So this match really was supposed to be just kind of a throwaway death match style. These two going at each other. The big storyline there was that Ricky Shane Page and his crew 44-0 were going to interfere in that match and cost Nick Gage the match as part of their whole deal with trying to make sure that Nick Gage doesn't regain the title and so on and so forth. Nick Gage set a stipulation, let's take MDK versus 44-0 tomorrow night at night 2. And it was a big fight. If Nick Gage's crew won, Nick Gage gets a title shot. If 44-0 won, Nick Gage had to retire. The downside to this is the next day Beyond Wrestling also ran a show, and Nick Gage worked a scramble match with them. It was a really basic match. There wasn't supposed to be anything dangerous about it. Unfortunately, Nick Gage, kayfabe went down, and non-kayfabe, went down with an actual ankle injury in that match. It was a non-contact injury. It was pretty freakish. So now you have a match that's supposed to take place in 4 hours. It's the big event lead up, and it can't happen. So we go into the night 2 really wondering where things are at. Night 2 was really just a lot of throwaway matches. The big storyline was here for night 2 was Zachary Wentz also made his debut in a death match against Alex Colon. You guessed it. So the real big deal here is that Zach Wentz had never been in a death match before, and it was something that he wanted to do, and the internet was abuzz, and a lot of people were talking trash saying that he was not going to be able to hang in there. I personally shared Waffle House with Zach, got to hang out with him Soda Pop a few times. He's a real good cat, and I personally believed he was going to kill it, and that guy did not disappoint. He did not look shook. He stood tall. He knew what was coming at him. He took some serious bumps. It was a great match. One other side story that I forgot to mention in the first part is Joey Janela. GCW did their thing, and Joey Janela wrestled a doll the night before, Yoshihiko. It's kind of a storyline. But the big deal is the guy that controls the doll is normally just covered in suit, head to toe. Turns out it was Leo Rush underneath there. The big deal with that is that Leo Rush and Joey Janela have had some huge, crazy feuds. So they said, let's have a match night 2. And Joey Janela and Leo Rush tore the damn house down. I mean, it was a long-winded match, but at one point Joey Janela got up on top of this huge pillar, jumped down on Leo Rush, smacked his actual head against the concrete. It was a scary couple moments, but killer match. The end result was 44-0 and MDK took on each other without Nick Gage. Several of the GCW members came from the back to stop 44-0 from being able to expand their problem causing. But ultimately, it was a great death match. I really want to shout out Alex Colon in this one because Alex Colon took two guys that had never been in a death match, and these guys put on two bangers. Like legit, Zach Wentz might be the second best match I've seen so far this year. It was a killer. It was a killer match. If you have $20, Fight TV's got both of them. It's definitely worth your while.
Very cool, man. You know my opinion of death matches, man. I support all wrestling, but that one I do from a distance.
It's really not for everyone.
Not in the building distance.
It's a brotherhood. It's a very specific type of people, and Ashley doesn't even like to go to them. So it's I'll keep you informed of everything that goes on. You don't have to watch. I'll let you guys know what happens. Me and Juan.
Let me know, man. That's what I got you guys for. All my experts.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know just because I don't really. I mean, it's not that I hate it or anything. It's just I'm maybe I'm a wimp or what, but it's too much for me, man. And like I said, in other shows, when someone gets busted open and they bleed and share shots on the table, hardcore doesn't affect me. But deathmatch, that's not. I mean, that's apples and oranges. It's not the same at all. And yeah, we saw viewer discretion advised. I mean, this is the pit, so like,
yeah,
you gotta be ready for everything, man. Well, awesome, man. I think you freaking killed it.
I appreciate it. I know I talked a lot. I only had like 6 minutes, but I wanted to make it count.
Cool, man. But what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, so let's move on to our next segment.
I'm excited about this one. This is for those of y'all that are just joining us. We're about to discuss the Wednesday Night War. So if you have not seen NXT or AEW, now would be the time to mute us and come back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. And with that said, let's welcome in our experts. And her name is not Melina. It is, in fact, Melanie. She knows, though, because I was talking about Melina earlier before the show started. So, that's why that was in my head. I do know your name. Welcome.
Oh, no, Melanie, you're muted.
Oh, am I muted, guys? Am I back?
There you go.
Okay. All right.
My great intro and everything.
Don't forget Clarissa.
Yep, she's coming.
All right.
And then here is our militia member, Clarissa, joining in to be our AEW,
Hi.
Our AEW panel. So we're going to cover Dynamite first.
Yep. Melanie and Clarissa explain it all. Here we go.
There we go.
All right. So first and notably, everybody noticed Excalibur was absent from AEW and Taz took his place. I don't know if it's part of the controversy that was going on. If you don't know about it, you can Google it. Mm-hmm. But apparently he addressed that a couple of years ago. So, but it's resurfaced because of all the speaking out. It's resurfaced. So I don't know how AEW is going to end up addressing that later on, if that was the reason he was removed from last night's broadcast. All right. So then into the matches, 10-man melee. It was a melee. I mean, it was all over the place. Yeah. I mean, you're talking dives and, and jumps and Marco Stunt making an appearance a couple of times. But it really was all over the place, and the camera guys had to work extra hard for that one.
You expect that a little more people to.
Yeah.
Work that the camera people have to do.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was a good match, but I feel like it was too much going on at times. I mean, I don't know how Clarissa felt about it.
Yeah, it looked like there was way too much going on. You had storylines going on throughout the entire match. Really keeping up with everything was pretty, it was pretty hard to do. Good, of course, like Melanie said, we had the flippies and all that good stuff coming out. I think the main thing for me that stood out the most, of course, Sammy G coming back, his returning match, and then what happened with Matt Hardy. It's looked like they're going to be continuing where they left off. Before, Matt was like trying to bring him in, but now it looks like they're going to be going up against each other.
Mm-hmm. So Matt Hardy pulls Sammy. Sammy gets pinned, and Hardy's like, "Welcome back." Mm-hmm. And then, which leads us to our second match, which was Cody versus the indie darling Warhorse and his debut. Which was awesome, because they listened to the match, they listened to the fans, they followed the internet fans rooting for Warhorse. I will admit that I don't know much about Warhorse. I've never seen him live. I've only seen him, you know, on the internet, kind of, you know, YouTube and stuff like that. But I don't know if it was nerves, but I don't think he had a great debut. I think the match could have been better, or it could be that Eddie just had a killer match last week with Cody. And so it didn't, you know, that was a great match last week. So, but, you know, Warhorse debuted, Cody took the win, but in the end, it wasn't a pin, it was submission, which, you know, still kind of leaves it open for maybe him to come back later, which is nice, you know. But I thought that Warhorse could have been. I've seen him do better,
a lot better. What I do like. Go on.
Go ahead.
What I like about these open challenges with Cody is that he's letting, you know, these indie guys come in and show what they've got to a bigger, broader audience, introducing them, you know, and letting them really show. You think you're going to go in there and it's going to be like this quick squash, but actually Cody's letting them, you know, show off what they've got to everybody. And I think that's a good thing instead of these quick squash matches.
Yeah.
Yes, he did come to ACW, and I saw clips of last night, and I kind of agree with you guys. I didn't see the whole match, but from what I've seen of Warhorse, it didn't look like his best outing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was nerves. It was probably nerves. You're in a bigger, you're in front of, you know, thousands of people now instead of, you know, what you're used to. So
yeah,
Cody did actually tweet his last night or this morning about how he felt that he was out of place, and, you know, could have done better himself with his footwork and being in the right place at the right times.
I think that's one of the challenges when you're bringing in these guys you've never worked with before. But at the same time, you know, I agree with I love that they're bringing in these indie guys and they're actually giving them a shot, and they're listening to the fans, and they're listening to people pushing these indie guys out there, you know, because it brings in another audience, and it brings in another aspect of it, because these guys may not have a chance otherwise, especially during this time with COVID. They've been giving a lot of these indie guys a chance, whereas, you know, they may not get it if they were running regular shows. So I appreciate it. So then comes the big debut at the end of the match. You know, the Dark Order. Yeah, Dark Order jumps Cody, and his friend, Mr. Matt Cardona, comes in. Swole. Can we just say that? He's just been pumping on his days off and tanning like crazy to come in and save Cody, which was, you know, I didn't think he was actually going to bring him in, but it sounds like he's signed. He's got a contract. He's got a shirt out already. You know, it debuted yesterday with him. So glad to see him. I'm excited to see what he does. I hope that they don't, I don't know. I hope he changes character a bit. I don't want to see any broski. I don't want to see any woo.
No.
Yeah.
He needs to make himself look more, I guess the words, he needs to be more serious. I think taken a little bit more serious, and it makes me wonder if he's slowly distancing himself from the elite, where he's going to start creating maybe his own. Because you see him, like last night, he didn't show so much of being a heel like he did the week before. Mm-hmm. It's like he's teetering on going either heel or staying face, or I think that it's just a swerve, and I think he's going to end up staying a face and not going the way that he's like cocky. He's been a lot cockier. Last night he wasn't. Now with Cardona in here, it could change.
Yeah. I like them teaming up though. I like the way he brought him out. I like that there was no secret leaking that he was coming out. I like that it was actually a surprise, because I popped for it. I did not think I would pop for Matt Cardona showing up, and I did. I popped. And then it leads us to, you know, the Jericho Guevara announcement, where Jericho is going to do the debate with Cassidy. There's going to be a secret moderator. We don't know who the moderator is going to be. And then Guevara called out Hardy for a match. So we have that coming up. And then really weird segue into the FTR contract signing, where Hangman shows up, because Hangman has been hanging around them a lot more, and they've been coming in to save Hangman. So there's that storyline going on too with Hangman and the FTR guys. So After that, we went into the AEW Tag Team Championship, which I have to admit has been really good. I'm really getting in line with the Dark Order. I wasn't at first, but with their segments on Being the Elite, the way they're playing them out on Dynamite and on Dark, I'm really starting to enjoy them and enjoy the collective. Anna Jay was put under contract this year. We saw her debut finally as part of the Dark Order with Brody Lee coming out with her, which was really awesome. Because I know that she's green. I think she's only came out of the Monster Factory maybe a year.
About a year,
Not Monster
maybe.
Factory. What a Monster Factory? What was it? Nightmare Factory. Sorry, Nightmare Factory. Maybe a year.
Yeah,
Less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years.
Yeah, it's about less than 2 years.
Okay, so I know she was a little green, but I did like her look. So they have her come out with the Dark Order, and of course, Colt Cabana is still with them as well. Kind of trying to see how that storyline plays out as well. The Hangman and Omega retain. Dark Order attacks. FTR comes out, and saves Hangman again. Young Bucks come out. Yep. So it's, they build it up. They build it up for this next match coming out, where it's going to be the Elite versus Dark Order, and but I don't know if that's going to eventually lead to something else for All Out, because they were starting to announce matches for All Out already during this whole segment, or excuse me, through this whole show. Let me see here. So Brody Lee, the character of Brody Lee, as it's so. Let me see. Better the debuts.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of
It would
course.
be great. Brody Lee getting upset and throwing if you're following Being the Elite, the whole throwing the papers at Evil Uno is hilarious. It's been a whole thing on Being the Elite, and it keeps building and building of him throwing the papers. So if you haven't watched Being the Elite, it feeds into the storylines for Dark and for Dynamite, which is nice touch, because you can't fit everything into the 2-hour show. Let's see.
Only one show a week too.
One show a week, exactly.
Yeah.
So then we go into I'm sorry, it's FTR and the Elite versus Dark Order. Yeah. They're teaming them up. So we don't know what's going to happen there, because there's already friction with FTR and the Elite because of the past. And if you don't know as well, it's from Being the Elite. So the other thing we go into is Britt Baker addresses the upcoming women's tournament, and she's out, but Big Swole is in. She is basically telling Big Swole that she can have her match if she beats an opponent of her choice.
Of course, we know who that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speculating it's going to be Reba. Yeah, exactly, Rebel. So which I think is great, because Rebel's been playing her part perfectly as her sidekick. I mean, it's hilarious. Their dynamic is great. So we'll see how that plays out. Next we have Diamante Shida. Shida retains. I like the storyline going into this, where Diamante is fighting for a contract. I liked that. Her showing last week with La Sicaria Ivelisse was good. I really liked their match. It was a great ending. I really thought Ivelisse was going to take it, but I liked the whole roll. I liked the roll up, but I think the match yesterday was a little clunky between Shida and Diamante. Who knows why? I mean, these are also a lot of people who are not training together. It was non-title. Okay, non-title. So I don't know how it's going to play out, because I know, like I said, she was fighting for a contract. But I feel like the match was a little clunky in parts, but overall it was a good match. Shida and Diamante, I mean, Shida always puts on a good show. Diamante is a great wrestler. I just think that there were some parts where it got a little clunky. What did you think, Clarissa?
It was really slow, and you can see, a lot of hesitation. You can see a lot of, I wouldn't say botches, but it was slow. It was slow pace. But you're not used to seeing from Shida, from in the past matches that she's had before. This one was, it was a little slower than what I was expecting.
Yeah. So then we go into the Vicky Guerrero with Nyla Rose, and Nyla Rose picking her tag her tag partner. So
No.
she reaches into the bag. She pulls out a purple chip. Dasha tells her, somebody's already picked a purple, and here comes Arian. Arian Andrews.
For those who don't remember, Funk the Back Post.
Exactly. From Total Divas, exactly. I have to admit, I was a little disappointed. I was expecting more of some of the indie darlings to come out because they've been so good at bringing on some of the indie women. But so my balloon was a little deflated, but I am hoping that she's taking the time off to get herself together, to improve her moveset, and maybe they'll just have Nyla working more and have her coming in to assist. Who knows how it's going to work? But, Josh mentioned earlier that Nyla tweeted and was like, she's still pissed about her pick.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. I don't. No, I was really, just same word, deflated, disappointed.
I was really hoping to bring in some more indie darlings, especially some of the women that have been out there busting their butts on the indie scene that really, they deserve a bigger setting to showcase their skills, I
would really love to see like Thunder Rosa become part, have a tryout or something with AEW. I think it would be amazing. Yeah. For her. I think that would have been great.
Yeah, you'll kill it anyway. She's my favorite. Any company, she's number one.
Yeah. So Arian's first pick. We'll have to see who other people they bring in. And then we move on to the fire promo that MJF cut. Holy crap. That guy Christy James would be a good one.
Yeah.
MJF, whenever he's on the mic, I always think like, man, this guy's just going to be gold. But last night, I feel like the whole segment killed when he's coming out and they're handing him his contract to sign. He's handing this, and it's all like the hallway is lined with his posters. That was hilarious. I loved it from beginning to end. He called out. He always does a really good job. Is not to really call people out, but he puts like little innuendos, or he insinuates this and he puts this in, and he's like, which is great. Yeah. The whole brother. And he's like, oh, that's a stone cold fact. Just his little mannerisms and the things that he does and he puts in there. And you're like, oh, ouch. That hurt. That burned, dude. Yeah. But, everybody was calling like for him to get a title shot. And I think this was the best way to get a title shot. This was the best way to put it out there by him having this and calling out Jon Moxley as opposed to them just making it. Mm-hmm. He asked for it. He's putting himself out there. And I think this was the best way for them to set that up because it happened and it happened organically as opposed to it just being like, oh yeah, we're going to put these two guys together and blah, blah, blah. So I think that promo set it up perfectly for this match. And, and Jon Moxley, he's been doing great on the promos too. So I'm sure they're going to have some kind of rebuttal or anything next week or sometime. They're going to throw something out there, Yep. So that promo I think was just like that was the highlight I think of the show yesterday. I mean, the matches were great, but just hearing that promo, you're like, yes, I want this for All Out. So now it's waiting the 2 weeks for, is it 2 weeks? A couple weeks for
the 15th, isn't it? The 15th, yeah.
So it's waiting for those 3 weeks for All Out, and I think it's really going to come to a head on that, and I think it's going to be great when it finally does. So then our last match tonight, Darby and Moxley versus Cage and Starks. I like the fact that when Taz started out, he kind of threw a little shade at Cornette, because I guess Cornette had said that that Taz standing in front of Cage made Cage look small. So Taz says, I'm going to stand behind you so people don't say anything or something like that.
Yeah.
So just kind of like a little, had to get his little dig in there, which was nice. But that match was great. The tornado tag, it was great. I I mean, Starks never disappoints. I love that guy. That guy's a showman. The guy's a wrestler. And last night, I think he took it literally. When Darby pulls out the skateboard with the tacks and he jumps on Ricky Stark's back and that ends the match. I mean, that was nuts. The pain on Ricky's face had to be genuine. There's no way you're gonna
the leg shaking, the leg like wiggling around underneath him whenever Darby got the pin.
Oh,
that was
gold. That was great. I mean, it was horrible way for him to take it, but it was like a great way to end the show because I mean, it sets you up, I think, for something else later on. And it also shows you how far Darby Allin's willing to go because at the end, it put Darby against Moxley, and that's the setup is that those guys are gonna go at it, and Darby's no holds back. He's back, And
I can't wait to see it again because they already had one match. So to see it again, part 2 is going to be off the chain. I don't know what they're going to do because they're both, unpredictable in what they're going to do. So,
yeah. And so far, I mean, they've all been taking it. Moxley's been utilizing the whole arena for his matches. That but why not? You have an empty arena, so might as well
use it all.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it. That's AEW, guys.
Man, if you didn't watch it, then you didn't have to watch it. Then now you know all of it. Covered.
It's covered.
Well, yeah, I think that was a great job by not Melina.
No, not Melina.
That's her new name, not Melina. And Clarissa. Appreciate you guys.
All right, thanks.
Glad you joined us in the pit, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.
So I know we talked about going over NXT together, but I know you said Moonshine was already in the pit, and
just so y'all know too, our NXT expert had his daughter got sick, so if y'all are mad about that, y'all suck. So anyway, moving on.
I'm excited. I'm excited to have Moonshine in the pit. I haven't seen him in a while.
From a distance.
Yeah. Well,
I've been wanting Moonshine in the pit since I started this show. How long ago did we start the show? Back in
oh my God, it's almost a year. It is almost a year. I can't remember, but it's almost a year.
Yeah, and I wanted him ever since, and it was always can't. And then he was busy, but I got him, so here he is. Let's welcome him into the pit.
Oh man.
Hey,
what is up?
What's up?
What's up, Moonshine?
What's the deal, man? Hopefully, like I was telling you, hopefully the reception isn't too choppy. I'm kind of out here in the boondocks right now, and it's storming down.
Yeah, well, right now it's looking good, so we'll just roll with it.
Okay, cool.
We'll just jump right on into it.
Right on.
Go ahead and welcome to the pit. We're going to interview you and then see what we go from there. Let's go, Brad. You ready to rock?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
So what's going on in your world right now, Moonshine? I know everybody's world's a little different in 2020.
What's going on in my world? I'm actually in Kansas City. I relocated during the pandemic, kind of like maybe a month or two in. I relocated up to Kansas City. I was already looking to get out of Texas, so I came back to Kansas City where I was at before, and relocated up here. And just doing my thing up here right now because who knows when things are going to get back to normal.
What brought you up to Kansas City?
I mean, a lot of things, man. A girl who I've been seeing for a while, she lives up here. I have a bunch of friends up here. Kansas City is kind of like a second home. To be quite honest, I was already looking to get out of Texas and kind of get into a new scene and everything like that. So Kansas City is, kind of a central point. And, now if I wanted to go to Chicago, it's, only a handful of hours to drive there instead of, 13, 14, 15 hours from Texas, so it just it gives me a little bit more leeway to get out there and get a little bit more exposure and just do my thing and just give Texas a rest for the time being.
Nice.
Yeah. Gets you out there into a different, spreads the word, get people more educated on moonshine because that's what the world needs.
Are you training up there yet? Do you have a place that you're training up there, or are you just working on your own so far?
So I have a place up here where I'm training. I'm out here out at one of my buddies. He's also a worker, Niles Plonke. He owns a winery out here, but he also has a wrestling school that he runs, and they have practice out here Tuesdays and Thursdays. So at least once a week, I'm out here wrestling with the guys, trying to keep my wind up, and helping the guys and teaching the new guys new things and everything like that, and doing my part in that. But yeah, aside from that, just man, I got a lot of time on my hands, so I'm trying to get in the gym. I've been doing a lot of 2-a-days and that kind of stuff, just trying to stay in shape. Obviously, there's nothing I can do aside from actually being in the ring and working matches and everything like that to keep me in the shape I need to be in. But I'm doing everything I can, in the meantime. So whenever this shit gets rolling again, that we can get back to business and not skip a beat.
And as you know, there's been some companies that have actually started running shows down here in Texas. And has there been any up there that are trying to do shows? And also, like, what's your thought on that? About running shows right now? I mean, I've canceled 3 already and haven't even ran one. So y'all know my opinion.
Not on that base. Yeah. So I mean, okay, still there are definitely a few shows in Texas right now we're still running. I know SWE, who I work for, I'm a part of their roster. I know they have the TV tapings that they have to get done, to get out to people, get out to different stations that they're affiliated with, and continue to drop content on like the Fight app and other platforms that they're, that they're on. But aside from that, I mean, there are a few other companies running, but fewer and a lot of them, do. What seems to be the pattern is basically, somebody will, set a date for a show, and then it will end up getting postponed and postponed and postponed and everything like that. But, I don't know. As long as the company's taking the precautions, to keep everyone safe, and everyone's not right on top of each other in the locker room, and fans aren't overpacking the arena or wherever we might be working that night. As long as the precautions are put in place, I'm okay with it. But obviously it's not the same, and in the long run, I think it might be better for all of us to just keep waiting until it's time to get back to normal. But that's just my opinion.
Well, and I feel like if we would have done that in the first place as a country, we would already be back to it. But it is what it is, and here we are now. So,
do you feel like?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, man. Maybe if people want to.
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was gonna say.
I was just saying. Yeah, you're right. Maybe if
I think we have a lag.
There's a little bit of a lag, so you don't ever have to stop talking. We'll stop.
Yeah, we have a lag in it, definitely, man. Go ahead. What I was gonna say wasn't important.
Okay.
The only thing I was gonna ask is, do you feel like you would prefer to do you feel that you would feel better if you were working shows without fans? Like, do you feel like it would be safer, like morally, you would feel better if a no fan show versus a show with limited fans?
So was the question? Sorry, we were kind of cutting in and out. Was the question, would I feel better morally if it was kind of like an empty arena instead of fans at the show?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, man. I mean, in all honesty, yeah. I mean, while everything is going on, I mean, it's to me, as long as it's not affecting my pay, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, this is a business, and as long as it's not affecting my pay, not having fans there or whatever like that, I'm all for it, man. But dude, I mean, but at the end of the day, everyone's safety's first. So yeah, I think I would feel a little bit more comfortable if fans weren't there. But I mean, it kind of is what it is. It's just it's one of those things. It sucks the situation it is. I don't know if there's necessarily a right or wrong way to do it or anything like that, but if we need to keep everyone safe, and if keeping everyone safe is keeping everyone out of the building, then do what we got to do, man.
Sorry, I'm laughing at some of the comments that we're hearing here. They're still wanting to see the video.
Oh man. Oh, everybody wants to see it.
Oh my God, yeah. I want to see that video too.
Tommy has it. I swear to God. So Tommy,
Is there a video of that?
Yes. I know for a fact that Tommy said there was a recording, and he never gave us the clip. He turned it over to Brandon Outlaw, and I never reached out to him. But I once saw a picture of like the split second before you kicked me, but that was all I ever physically saw.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, because they were filming. They should.
That's
Yeah,
what I
they
said.
should. There should be actual footage out there about that. You're right.
One of these days we'll debut it on the pit, maybe.
That's awesome, man. That's a that's something I won't forget anytime soon, man. That was the greatest thing ever.
It was definitely a moment for me as well. I won't forget it myself.
We got a question from the fans watching. Why the name Moonshine?
So, why the name Moonshine? Actually, that was a name kind of bestowed to me. A friend gave it to me. To make a long story short, basically one night, we had moonshine. We were out drinking and everything like that. It was a party or something like that. And I got a little too messed up on the moonshine and ended up fighting some dude and, beat him up pretty good, to say the least. And it was just kind of one of those nicknames that kind of just like, it stuck after that. People were like, "Oh, look out for Moonshine! Here he comes!" This guy, big bad. Don't mess with this guy when he drinks moonshine. So it's kind of like an ongoing joke that kind of just like turned it into a wrestling thing.
It worked. It worked.
It's a great gimmick. I love it.
Yeah,
I loved it from the first time I saw it. And I'm not a big guy wrestler. Like I typically lean more towards like high flyers and the technical side. So for like me to catch that gimmick coming out of the curtain, it's great. I love it personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the aura of the badassness that comes off of it.
Hey,
and you
thanks,
stand
man.
there and you hand the moonshine to us and get to hold it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's awesome, bro. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, man. Passing off the shine to the fans.
I know it took everything I had not to just chug it while during the match, but I was like, it is gonna kick my ass after the show.
I drank some. I figured moonshine owed it
that's
to
the thing.
me.
Everyone thinks it's just a gimmick and everything like that, but I got a few boys. Yeah, I got a few boys back home or whatever who make it or whatever. So like whenever I come through, they always just hook me up and load me up. So I always take it out there, and like people always think it's gimmick or they're like, oh, that's just water in there, bullshit,
Nope.
blah blah blah, and just
Nope.
Here, take it then, So it's pretty cool doing that.
Yeah, there's no doubt that it's the real deal. Like I said, I mean, I've held it, and it took all I could to not just chug it because I'm a drunk. But anyway.
Yeah, no, you can't chug that stuff.
I drank some. I felt like he owed it to me. I felt like after BOW, I felt like he owed me a drink.
Get kicked in the dick.
Oh yeah, dude, I got you, man. I got you.
So I have a question, and I don't know how much you want to discuss it. Like the last time I personally saw you live was Euphoria, and that was a huge match that was killing it until there was that unfortunate accident when a boy went over the top and hit the floor. And I just thought to myself, like in that moment, like what's going through your mind in that moment? Like I've never gotten to ask Rush, like what's going through your mind in that moment?
I hope he's not dead.
Yeah.
Like in that situation, when that particular situation, that was scary.
Yeah.
That's my first thing. I was like, I remember laying there and I was like, oh my God, I hope he's not like seriously injured or, dead. So yeah, man, that's whenever that kind of stuff happens, it's just it's just one of those things. That's the nature of the business. When stuff happens, you just got to keep going with it and hope all is well with it. But yeah, it's scary, man. You never want to see anyone get hurt.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
It was definitely like you don't get very often where everybody in the room is on the same page. And for like that solid 5 or 6 seconds after that happened, everybody in the room was having the same moment. Like it really wasn't about wrestling anymore. Like that particular moment was like, oh my God, this guy's got to be okay. So my
that was
next
a scary moment.
topic-
You know, luckily there aren't too many of those moments.
Yeah, definitely.
I was just saying, luckily there aren't too many of those moments that happen too often or anything like that. But yeah, man, that particular moment was super scary.
Yeah. My next question was going to be, I was really loving your current run with Ryan Davidson. Is there any chance that you're going to be coming back to Texas to try and continue that those particular runs with that tag partner?
With Ryan Davidson? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. I'll have. What was the question? Sorry, you're cutting out. Is there a chance that me and Ryan Davis will have a run? Is that what you're asking?
If you'll still work together more frequently now that you're up there and he's still here.
Hold on real quick. I'm going to try to go into another spot in the building, see if it has a little bit better reception. And if not, I might have to get off with you guys. I'm afraid that it's so hot out here. 1 second.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Yeah, because just putting Ryan Davidson and him together is just a beast.
Right, we're going to come outside real quick. Maybe it's a little bit better. All right, so what was the deal about Ryan Davidson again?
Just mainly asking if now that you're going to be moving, now that you're going to be up north, if you'll still make efforts to come down here and continue to tag with Ryan Davidson down here, knowing that Texas really still wants to see that.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I still plan on coming back to Texas and like doing a couple spots here and there and everything like that. Yeah, and like if teaming with Ryan Davidson, you know, Shag Nasty, man, that's my fucking brother. Ryan Davidson's a huge part of my career, man. He's been a brother to me. He's been a lot. He's been, you know, an opponent. He's been a partner. He's been a good friend. So I'm all for working with Ryan Davidson in any form or fashion, whether it's across the ring or teaming up, anything.
Nice.
Yeah, big fans of his. And just programming note, next week in the pit, our guest will be Ryan Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, because that's how we roll here in the pit.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It all ties together.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So now that you're out there in the new area, even though it's not new to you, is there anybody out there that you're looking to, like, excited to work with once everything gets back to normal? Or normal? Man, it was going so good too.
Oh, did we lose him?
I think so.
Sorry. What?
It was going good.
Oh, sorry. What was the question? Can you say that one more time? It's a little choppy.
Yeah, now that you're in out in a different area or a different territory, since we're talking wrestling, right? Is there anyone that you're looking forward to working with that you haven't had a chance to?
Oh yeah. There's only one person I'm ready to work with, and if you guys haven't heard of him, you need to look him up. His name's Jeremy Wyatt, the Monarch Jeremy Wyatt. I can't say enough good things about this guy. As far as his ability inside the ring, he's a veteran. He's a complete badass in that ring, and he makes anyone who gets in that ring better. You know, by the time they get out of that match with him. So Jeremy Wyatt, that's that's who I want to work with more than anyone in the Midwest. Also a guy who's up around Midwest a lot and in the area. Well, there's two of them, but AJ Gray and then also Jake Something. I'd love to work.
Yeah.
I've worked with Jake Something before. I'd love to get in the ring and have us beat the shit out of each other some more. But AJ, Jake Something, and number one Jeremy Wyatt.
Awesome. I've heard two of the three, so I'm gonna have to look up Mr. Wyatt.
I really want on.
Yeah,
the
man. A lot of people don't. Yeah. AJ's a hoss, man. All those guys are hosses, but any one of those guys, I would love to step up and have a feud with them or do something.
There was a question earlier that if you ever do you watch Sammy's vlog, and did you hear them shouting out the love for you that Ricky
I've seen a few. Yeah. What was the question? Ricky gave me a shout out. Is that what you said?
Yeah, showed some love, how much he loved you and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Ricky. I mean, to answer your question, I've seen some of Sammy's vlogs or whatever. He puts out so much content. He does a great job on that.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, Ricky's my boy, dude. I mean, I can't tell you how happy I am for Ricky Starks to be where he's at right now, man. He's been kicking ass and plugging away for years, man. And he's a good dude. I consider him a friend. I can't say enough good things about Ricky. Ricky's my boy. So to hear him shout me out like that and put me over, that's fucking awesome.
If you could pick one guy out of Texas to come up north and have a killer match with you in front of people that had never seen either of you, and you knew that that was going to be the banger, what's the guy you would bring up there?
There are a few of them, but I would, just off the top of my head, probably Gino. I'd bring a Gino's ass up here. I mean, more people know about him, but from being with MLW and everything. But I'd bring Gino up here, and I'd have us chop the hell out of each other.
Gino, wasn't he? Yeah.
My chest started hurting just thinking of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to go? Do you want to go for the go home segment, Josh?
Yeah, man. Since we're having a little bit of issues, I mean, appreciate you joining us in the pit. I'm here in the pit. We started a new segment that we started with Kiefer and Gino did last week. We call it the go home segment. So it's gonna be like rapid fire questions. You got 5 seconds to answer, the short answers, and then that'll get us to go home. Me and we'll be alternating too. So if you're ready to say when, we'll roll.
I'm ready, man. If I can't hear you, I'll let you know, but I'm ready.
All right, Moonshine. They're very basic questions. We'll try to make sure we go slow to respect the connection. So my first question is, who would win in the eating contest? Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin?
Homer Simpson.
All right.
Do you play any musical instrument? And if so, what?
Goddamn, dude, I play a mean fartophone. That's where you like fart and make noises with the saxophone.
Awesome.
What's your favorite candy?
Oh shit. Off the top of my head, maybe Skittles. Fuck. Or sweet tart ropes. The sweet tart ropes. The new gimmicks. They're sweet tarts, but they come in the ropes. Man, those are delicious.
I've not had that. I'll try that.
If you were a college professor, what subject would you teach?
Oh fuck. I'd probably teach like probably like racquetball or something. One of the elective classes.
All right. Unsolved Mysteries or America's Most Wanted?
Ugh, man, that's a good one. America's Most Wanted.
Okay.
If you owned a yacht, what would you name it?
Oh, if I owned a what?
A yacht.
Oh, a yacht?
Yeah.
I don't know. Big Papa. Fuck. Something like that.
What time?
I don't know. You're giving me 5 seconds. That's what I got.
That's right. That's the go home segment, brother.
What time do I what?
What time do you eat dinner?
Yeah. 8.
Okay.
Once you're retired, what would you want to be known as your biggest accomplishment?
Helping others.
Nice.
What's your least favorite move to take in the ring?
Fuck. Probably. I hate taking kicks to the head. Straight up, I don't like them. I've been kicked in the head too many times in my lifetime.
Okay.
If you won the lottery, what would be your first purchase?
Oh shit! If I won the lottery, my first purchase would be to pay off all my debt.
Same.
What would be more embarrassing, peeing your pants in school or getting told no to a big screen at the game marriage proposal?
Peeing your pants in school, dude. I don't care what anyone says. If you mess up at a young age in school, that shit follows you for the rest of your school life, man. It doesn't go away. People don't forget.
Especially
Nice.
kids. Yeah. What's one skill that you think would be impossible for you to learn?
Whistling. I can't whistle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Didn't see that coming.
I did
Yeah, I
not
can't
either.
whistle. Yeah.
That one kind of blows my mind.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Which
But,
Golden Girl is your favorite?
oh, fucking Sophia.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What's the worst job you ever had?
Worst job I ever had was painting houses in the middle of summer in Texas.
Same. Fucking same. Worst job I ever fucking had. Hated it.
It's the worst job.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Terrible. Would you consider changing your entrance to where you come to the ring with a mason jar full of Smirnoff Ice?
No.
Okay.
I was debating on
Had to ask.
No.
winter or summer.
What's that? Winter or summer? Summer.
Who was the most annoying character on Saved by the Bell?
The most annoying character? Let's see. Fuck. Who is that one, like, what was her name? Tori chick? She was there for like 1 or 2 seasons, and she always wore the leather jacket, and she had like the real curly hair and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of annoying and, kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, Tori.
I was not expecting Tori to pop up here, but I'll take it.
Tequila or vodka?
Tequila.
Would you set sail on the maiden voyage of Titanic 2?
No, fuck no. Fuck no.
And this is our official go home question for In the Pit that I ask everybody, and I've hated every answer so far. Do pineapples go on pizza?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes! Yes! Y'all are wrong. Y'all are just all wrong. It's there. It happens. Y'all just don't want it because the internet told you didn't want it. We all know it's good.
apparently I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Everybody
man.
else
I like it. I like it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you so much, man. I'm so happy that I finally got you in the pit. You know, I've asked you multiple times to join the pit, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you for fighting through the struggle.
Thank you so much for having me.
And hopefully we'll have you back again. Be safe out there, and show them how you do, man.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me, man. And anytime you want to have me on, man, we'll try to make it happen. I promise.
Appreciate you, brother.
Great to see you again, Moonshine.
Yeah, you too, man. I'll see you later, bros.
All right, be safe.
What a show. What a show. We had a lot of different stuff today. We didn't go over the NXT results, but that's totally cool. I really love the AEW breakdown.
Man, the girls absolutely killed it.
You know what? And it's really good that we had that segment. We saw a lot of people commenting. We saw a lot of people talking about it. So I think it's a staple. It's something that we're going to have to stay. You know, Josh and I have been talking about the format every week. You know, give us your feedback. Tell us what you want. It was great that we had Moonshine on today. I was excited. I thought everything was fun. Everything was a great show.
I mean, it flowed really well. I mean, we had a little bit of hiccups because of technology, but what can you do? Luckily, he hung in there with us, and we got through it. Next, just guys, just so y'all know, I mean, I know we kind of do all the questions and whatnot, but feel free when we have guests to hit those questions up in the comments, and we'll get to them as much as we can. Give us feedback. Me and Brad take all feedback to heart. We talk about this show almost every day of the week about what we can do better and whatnot. So please send us your feedback. I loved it. I think we're heading in the right direction. Our page.
I really think we're going to end up having to push the pit to an hour and 15 minutes, honestly, because we've been trying to keep it right at an hour, but we've got a good set of segments to get everybody going and talking about wrestling. And we're starting to do interviews with talent, and we're running out of time because we have a bajillion questions. So absolutely, like anything that you want us to ask or you want to know, get in here in the pit, get in one of the notification posts that we put out. Let us know. We want to ask the questions too. It makes my job easier if you guys have questions, honestly.
Easy. So more help y'all do. I just like to run the show. I like surrounding myself with talent. So it's my job look easy.
And who's on next week? Ryan Davidson's on next week. I'm stoked about Ryan Davidson.
If y'all don't know about Ryan Davidson, y'all better look it up. That dude's the truth. I mean, Moonshine put him over without us even talking about it. So
absolutely,
man, I can't wait for next week. He's a great guy. He's another one that we had Remedy that actually dealt with COVID. Ryan had COVID or coronavirus, COVID-19. So yeah, we can talk about stuff like that. He's up there reality wrestling around where Gino is too. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been in business for a long time.
I can't wait.
See, we got Brandon still hanging around. So
hey,
what's good, y'all? I forgot I still had the stream open. But anyway, yeah, great. What's up?
Bringing you in to say bye. What you think of the show? All that good stuff.
It was another good one. That was a great interview with Moonshine, despite the latency issues. But hey, what can you do with the COVID times, especially with bad connections? But anyway, definitely good insight in regards of what he has to endure. And hopefully he found a lot more exposure up in the Midwest once everything settles more further in the independent scene up in the Midwest. So props to him about it. And I'm super stoked about the hot spare himself, Ryan Davidson, talking about leader of freaking reality of wrestling and basically like a second dad to a lot of the students down there. So hearing his insights, and his mother's a dentist because she basically gave me advice in regards of when I cracked my front tooth in Inspire years ago. So yeah, he's a must watch. So definitely give him all the support and all the love out there. So when he comes on next week, for sure.
Awesome. Super stoked. All right, fellas.
Oh, yeah, and one more thing. Yes, more Calissa and not Melina, please, because we need more women insights in regards of what they think from a wrestling's perspective, because even though it's male-dominant, we need more female inputs in regards of what they think. So it's not just a one-gender sport. Let's not get twisted.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, we have a woman segment. We have a woman experts. So you know how we feel about that here in the pit.
Exacts.
All for one for all.
And since you didn't mention NXT, I can breeze through it right quick. Love the tag match. Even though Candice LeRae being Dakota Kai's partner was kind of random, I think they're cutting off Dakota from Raquel so they can focus on the singles ad. But they had a killer tag match, so that was dope. Shane Strickland, Isaiah Surf Squad with Jake Atlas. That was another good one right there. I'm still a little warming up to the GOAT, Mercedes Martinez joining the Robert Stone brand, but hey, it works. And hey, you the GOAT when you're pulling off spider suplexes from the top rope. She is a comic book nerd, so basically she's got to pay homage to Batman. So hey, that was a good match she had with Shotzi. I'll be straightforward. I didn't catch the main event with Thatcher, Loomis, and Balor, but I heard Loomis is putting people to sleep with his finisher, so which is basically part of his gimmick. I mean, if you saw him in the Impact as Sam Shaw, he fits the personality pretty well, so it's pretty top notch. And also the Undisputed Era reforming once more because Kyle O'Reilly had to take a backseat because of the COVID situation, and being that he's diabetic and everything, he has to look out for his health. So much respect for him taking the time. And if he does feel comfortable coming back to the ring, despite what's going on with the pandemic and everything, that's his choice and everything. As long as he's looking out for his health and everything, much respect to him. So I'm happy about that. The Undisputed Era needs a little resurgence, and I definitely feel if they are gone, basically NXT in a way will definitely lose its identity as far as right now. So, yeah, that's my brief rundown in regards to it. Oh yeah, and the Keith Lee carrying Cross thing, that's gonna be a good main event once that match happens at Takeover. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Again, thank y'all for being here. Thanks for everybody for watching. Send your comments, like, share, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell strangers, everybody. Tune in.
Oh, and on the YouTube channel, I say it on my channel, do the Julia Chang, and don't forget to subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm. Deuces.
Later.